Have you noticed? The rules of the world seem to have changed. An invisible treasure chest now guards your digital self. Your brainstorming partner is no longer human. It is artificial intelligence. There are no limits to your creativity. Esports is now a sport and a profession. There is a more comprehensive mind-body approach to medicine. Everywhere, from the seen to the unseen, from cities to your surroundings, technology is transforming your tomorrow, and I am the power of change. Computex.
Hi everyone, this is Scully, show manager of Computex 2022. I'm today's host, and I'll be talking to you about the trends and update of Computex 2022. Computex, based on Taiwan's complete ICT cluster, is one of the world-leading ICT, IoT, and startup business platforms. Computex identified the global tech trends reshaping the future. Today, we would like to share the top 2022 tech trends critical to the industry and give you a quick update on Computex 2022. Today, I will speak mainly two parts. First, we will have IDC, the premium global market intelligence firm, share with us some future trends of IDC industry. And next, the show manager of Computex 2022, Lee Chow, will walk us through the expo. At the end, our partners would like to share a few words with us. As we all know, the pandemic has changed life in many ways. Yet there's a drive to advance the development of technology, prompting many companies to embrace the transformation and highlighting technology's roles in enabling digital resilience. As a major ICT trade show, Computex 2022 will feature 6 technology trends: innovative computing, accelerating intelligence, digital resilience, connected X experience, innovations and startups, and sustainabilities. In addition, the event will comprehensively analyze the development of telecommunications. Next, we are honored to have Mr. Matthew Eastwood, Senior Vice President for IDC's Enterprise Infrastructures, Cloud Developer and Partnering, to share with us key trends in the development of digital transformation and the cloud for enterprises. Let us welcome Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matt Eastwood, and I manage IDC's Enterprise Infrastructure and Cloud Research. And I'm joining you today from IDC's headquarters outside of Boston. It is a very cold day here today, so let's head inside to that very warm studio where I'll provide you with some context on what's happening in the enterprise market in 2022 for Computex 2022. As organizations shift more and more of their business processes to digital, it's critical that they have a digital infrastructure that is scalable, agile, and efficient. And we see cloud as the operating model for that business-critical IT layer that will drive these digital businesses forward. Businesses are moving very quickly, and IT can't afford to wait around while the business is redefined. Instead, the IT leaders need to work aggressively and in parallel with the business in order to make sure that the digital infrastructure is in place to support the anticipated business needs. That said, today, I'm going to talk about IDC's vision for the future, which is a cloud-centric, autonomously operated digital infrastructure. Almost 2 years ago, the pandemic forced organizations to accelerate their digital transformation out of necessity and with no warning at all. And we now know that the technology headline of the pandemic is the role that technology played. Organizations without the proper investment in cloud failed to be productive in a world that was being defined by remote work. And all of this served as a wake-up call to the importance of cloud technologies inside the digital organization. Digital first isn't a technology, it's not a business model, it's an organizational aspiration and a characteristic. For 78% of organizations worldwide, the pandemic was the catalyst for shifting to a digital-first strategy. And a whopping 87% of organizations are already engaged in executing their digital-first strategy. For 2022, we've identified 5 areas that are driving an acceleration in customers' transformational journeys. These are not all the areas of investment or all the changes that we see in technology. That said, we think they represent a large and meaningful area of investment. First, there's trust. Customers are rethinking security as a foundational element of their digital-first strategy. Security remains too complicated, and the pandemic has introduced new threats to the IT landscape. And this is driving a challenging combination, one with very complicated tools and inexperienced novice users, which is a recipe for disaster. And then with cloud, we saw cloud investments remaining strong all through the pandemic with double-digit growth rates across all segments. Cloud was clearly seen as the fastest way to stand up new services in a market that was transforming quickly. With software, we see a shift towards more businesses differentiating through software, with more and more customers building ecosystems around these applications. And these applications, as they move to the cloud, we see more and more application dependencies and complexities arising. And this is creating new management challenges for all of these instances, and it's also influencing placement of these applications, including at the edge. So with Edge, 60% of the data is being created on endpoints, and the applications are going to follow that data to the edge. And this means more compute power will move to the edge, closer to the service, closer to that point where they're trying to implement more effective decision-making in near real time. And this is creating the enablement of new vertically oriented ecosystems with cloud service providers, infrastructure OEMs, telcos, and even OT providers all jockeying for position. And then finally, we like to highlight work. Work is, of course, evolving faster than ever. We see a hybrid world emerging that will be quite different than the world that we live in right now or lived in before the pandemic. People want to connect, and they will seek places where they can aggregate and collaborate. That said, we think that forward-thinking enterprises will prioritize ways to be inclusive to all working styles and not make those that choose to work remotely feel like second-class citizens. IDC believes that technology, deployment, and operations are all key underpinnings for a robust digital infrastructure. We see a complementary digital infrastructure ecosystem that's emerging that will be cloud-centric. It will involve things like software-defined everything, memory-driven infrastructures, heterogeneity, and cloud-based orchestration. Deployment becomes ubiquitous as shifts in asset usage models change. We see consumption models and location changing as well. With autonomous operations, we see cloud-based provisioning, optimization and control, cross-cloud data management, self-regulation, AI-enabled ops, and all of this, including new roles and skills emerging on top. And with the optimization of clouds, we're going to see a direction of technology innovation for infrastructure and resource abstraction. Making clouds more resilient will set the terms for how and where infrastructure is consumed and deployed. Managing diverse cloud resources and datasets will pose the most critical IT operational challenge. And managing across these stretched cloud infrastructures will challenge IT operations in new ways. So I'd like to wind down my comments with a few predictions that IDC's recently made about the future. I think these predictions will help frame the area of enterprise IT where we expect some of the most significant impacts and changes going forward. First, with ESG. Contextually, when we think about environmental, social, and governance, IT has an increasingly pivotal role in understanding sustainability initiatives. Understanding resource usage and areas to eliminate waste depends on the ability to gather and analyze data. We advise our customers to seek partners that provide details on their resource usage and on their progress on short-term and longer-term sustainability goals. By 2024, we think that 75% of the Global 2000 The digital infrastructure RFPs that come out from them will require vendors to provide progress on ESG and sustainability initiatives. They'll require data, and the CIOs will rely on infrastructure vendors to help them meet their ESG goals. With Edge done right will require tight collaboration between lines of business, data owners, and data consumers, as well as the data producers, to promote an Edge-first data infrastructure governance model. We advise users to take Edge-first approaches to data management. They need to make it a core driver for governance to ensure that the business can harness IoT, 5G, and real-time analytics at scale. By 2024, due to the explosion in Edge data, 65% of the Global 2000 will embed Edge-first data stewardship, security, and network practices into their data protection plans to help them integrate Edge data into relevant processes. With automation, it's critical to focus on deep understanding of who customers are. Is it a line of business, an internal or external user, and what outcome that they value? Focus on the use case. Use case objectives will determine how AI, ML, and analytics are applied. By 2026, 90% of the Global 2000 CIOs will use AIOps solutions to help them automate remediation and workload placement decisions that include cost and performance metrics and improving resiliency and agility. And then with OpEx procurement, we know better analytics about digital infrastructure usage for all locations will improve business agility and the decision-making that's made around this. We advise vendors to develop guidance for a line of business and finance about the decision processes for adding capacity, for defining when to purchase, lease, or adopt consumption-based models with very clear objectives. By 2025, 60% of enterprises will fund line of business and IT projects through their OpEx budgets. Matching how vendors provide their services with a focus on outcomes that are determined by their SLAs and their KPIs. New digital experiences are redefining business disruption, and accordingly, the applications and data have become strategic differentiators, and this has a significant impact on the digital infrastructure. The Edge is going to stress infrastructures in new ways. Unprecedented scale and shifts in computing, storage, and network loads will accelerate the need for much more automation. IT is worthy of innovation and innovative technologies and delivery around these operations. So I was very pleased to see that 71% of respondents to a recent survey reported that they discussed their IT strategies with their boards of directors at least once a quarter. With IT infrastructure, it's a dynamic process. IT needs to anticipate the future direction of the business and build the necessary scale and agility in anticipation of those needs. We at IDC view this as frictionless connectivity, frictionless deployment, and frictionless operations. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you for your time, and I wish you only the best in the weeks and months ahead.
Thanks, Matthew, for sharing your insights. Digital transformation is expected to accelerate it in 2022. As enterprises attach greater importance to the use of edge data and AIOps solutions, we see that AI-based IT management, cloud connectivities, and ESG as the major components of the future business model. As the leading ICT trade show, Computex is advancing with the times and embracing digital transformation. This year, Computex 2022 will return with a new look, bring more highly anticipated solutions and technologies, and continuing to create an innovative exhibition experience. Next, we will have Lee, show managers of Computex 2022, brief us what to expect from Computex 2022. Let's welcome Lee. So thank you, Lee, for coming to our show.
Thank you for having me.
It's our honor to have you. And as you know, that show business is kind of affected us very heavily from the pandemic. So we're really curious about, is Computex is going to happen in a on-site exhibition, right? Everybody's is asking.
Yeah, I think it is the first question that we meet our partners.
Right.
The first and very curious question, and that's not easy to answer.
Yeah, it's very challenging.
But I think we are very confident that the on-site physical show will return. I have two statistics to share with you.
Good.
The first one is that by the end of 2021, I think 66% of Taiwanese people are fully vaccinated.
You're vaccinated.
I am
vaccinated.
Yeah, so Computex staff is required to get complete vaccinated before the show.
Sure.
And by the end of September last year, that all the Taiwan's exhibitions are reopened. So and we experienced a strong rebound, and I think we witnessed the eagerness for people on the in-person meetings.
Right.
So we really want that to happen. And the second thing that I want to share is according to ITRI, which is a very famous Taiwan research institute, that Taiwan IC market trade value reached to 137 billion US dollars, which is a 25% increase compared to the previous year. So what does that mean is that Taiwan ICT market is very strong, and all the overseas companies are looking for us. So we really need to create a platform and place for them to showcase, to engage communications. And what really important is they deserve a place and a platform to hear our cheering and receive our applause.
Yeah, I think this 2 years, though it's kind of a very negative impact to a lot of industry, but for ICT industry, just Lee mentioned, it's a super growth. So we really need to have a place for this important ICT players to get together to display their new trend, new products, new solution. And I think Computex is one of the most good choice to be displayed and exhibiting.
It is.
And now, so what is the learning for this 2 years? I mean, what happens a lot in these 2 years, and what is the Computex learning from this 2 years?
So Scott, it is really a good question because Computex went all digital in these 2 years, and it is really a good opportunity for us to review and rethink what is the core reasons why exhibitors and our partners to participate in Computex. So whether they want to generate leads or they want to get media coverage to launch products.
They want to do matchmaking
and elaborate their brands. This opportunity allows us to curate the core events for them to promote and to do business in 2022 and in the future. Yeah, that's the first learning. And the second, I think, no matter what the format is, online or on site, I think Computex really leads the tech community to have a conversation. We invited the world-leading tech giants to have keynotes, especially in 2021.
We have 5 CEOs in Computex 2021.
So no matter what the format is, I think Computex really brings out the tech trends. And last but not least, the third one is that the very important learning is that we should always remain flexible. So we curate the Digital Go, which is an online platform for overseas exhibitors who could not be in Taiwan. They can promote and have a digital display. And one of the items in Digital Go is called the alternative physical exhibition, which allows the overseas companies to remotely access to exhibit in Taiwan. So they'll have a supported staff in Taiwan and to take care of their booths. So you can see that we curate multiple plans that to help our exhibitors and partners to achieve their exhibition goals.
I think Computex is, in these 2 years, what we learned is that we always learning that we need to be more flexible. And we need to come out more alternative package for our clients. As just like Lee mentioned, this remote exit plans is going to let you really participate in the exhibitions physically and while maybe you have the reason that you cannot go traveling abroad. So so I think it's really our flexibilities for Computex. So Lee, what to expect in Computex 2022?
This is a very good question. That in Computex 2022, I think we remain our mission that we want to build the technology ecosystem. And through our partners, I think we can bring up this opportunity that all the leading tech giants can share their visions and to launch their debut their products in Computex. And we'll curate for several events, Computex on-site and online digital display and booths, of course, Computex forum, and very important, the CEO keynote. And matchmaking networking event, of course. So please stay tuned for us to have more news to come in the following months.
Thank you, Lee, for your sharing. This year, 6 technology trends are interconnected, highlighting forward-looking technology and development, thinking that can't be missed and continue to set the trend. Our partners from across the globe also look forward to Computex 2022. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Hi everyone, I'm David Shi, FA Director of ARM. We appreciate Computex for growing, evolving, and having much success with ARM and the industry. With comprehensive supply chain and startup gathering at Computex, we can elevate more opportunities and innovations domestically and abroad. Thank you.
Hi, on behalf of ASUS, I'd like to invite all the domestic and international companies to join Computex 2022 to witness the latest and greatest technology innovation here. I wish Computex 2022 all the best.
Hello everyone, this is Johnny Shi from Delta Electronics. Computex Taipei is Asia's largest B2B platform for sourcing ICT products, and it's the most significant networking platform for global startups. Delta has been participating in Computex for more than 10 years. It's the first choice for international brands and manufacturers to showcase their products and solutions. On behalf of Delta, I would like to invite you to join this great event with us. I wish Computex 2022 a great success. Thank you.
This is Ming Yi. I'm the Chief Product Officer of Gogoro. Gogoro has established our business in Taiwan by leveraging all the latest technology, so we build a smart scooter and also the smart network. And with that network, we now have more than 450,000 of customers using the battery swap and using their EV every day. Taiwan has been famous for ICT supply chain. You can come here and find all the latest technology and the suppliers, which is to make your ideal become the real things. Next year, Computex will resume from the COVID-19. Welcome you come to Taiwan to find the technology to meet up the sustainability. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Harry Lin from Google Cloud Taiwan. Computex Taipei is Asia's largest B2B exhibition and platform for sourcing ICT products and the most significant networking platform for global startups. It is also one of few platforms that international brand names and manufacturers choose to launch their innovative products. Therefore, I would like to invite all domestic and international companies to join in this annual event of the global ICT industry and advance with the industry trends and the ecosystem. I wish Computex 2022 a great success. Thank you.
This is Roy from HTC. Computex Taipei is Asia's largest B2B platform for sourcing ICT products and the most significant networking platform for global startups. On behalf of the HTC, I would like to invite all domestic and international companies to join us in this annual event of the global ICT industry and advance with the industry trends and the ecosystems. I wish all Computex 2022 great success.
The ICT industry of Taiwan is an essential part of global manufacturing and innovation ecosystem. Therefore, on behalf of the MSI, I would like to invite all domestic and international companies to join us to this annual event.
2022 marks the 42nd Computex, with the goal of building a global science and technology ecosystem. Computex 2022 will take place May 24 to 27 from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at Taipei Nangang Exhibition Halls 1 and 2. We look forward to seeing all of you at the physical exhibition. Let's wrap up today's Computex 2022 trades and updates. You can count on Taiwan and count on Computex. I'll see you guys all in Computex 2022.